got to get into maybe a player that went a little higher than we thought. But I think it's simple. Okay, like you just look at the Patriots draft, and I'm like,
read the names, yeah.
I mean, like I even kind of I made the meme during the draft that Belichick them mocks, because it was just like because he was clearly he was doing it his way, and I just it's funny because it wasn't just the draft analysts. I think that's the thing is that often we get into these situations where
echo chamber of media guys, right?
Yeah, or we're reading somebody else saying something, or Sean McVay comes out and says, like they were all surprised all of a sudden that Cole Strange goes, in the first round. But what was interesting was I kind of started asking some other teams about Strange. I'm like, did we just like, is this the opposite of, like all the draft guys and all the, analysts, everybody just like blew it on this? No, there were a number of teams that were like, had him in the fourth.
Yeah.
Other people were like, didn't think he'd come off in the top 100, well, just all kind of like, so definitely Sean McVay and Les Snead were not alone.
Yes.
I think they were a little surprised. I don't know who else, but I understand from the Patriots that there was another team that was pretty interested in him in that kind of zone where they were end of the first, top of the second. So, maybe the Patriots part of that too was kind of knowing, hey, there's someone else out here fishing for this guy.
Right.
And we might not have an opportunity. We can't just assume that everybody's sleeping on him. There's another team that really likes him. I don't know who that other team is or if that's even true, but it was pretty interesting to see that pick, and then subsequent, there was a couple picks, the
Tyquan
next couple
Thornton,
of yeah, like he was a super fast guy, and they're like, okay, what else? Like, super fast guy,
like no, fast, yeah, right, yeah. The Strange thing was interesting. I had him number 91, I think, on my board, and I watched him down in Mobile, and yeah, he's total throwback kid. Like he doesn't wear like arm pads or gloves or anything. Like it's kind of weird to see, you see long snappers with that, but like not very many offensive linemen sort of adorned that way. And let's face it, he got his ass kicked on a few reps. The best part about it was that after that, like the next rep, he almost always won. Like he's one of those, okay, you pick yourself off. Does that read like a first round pick to you though, Charles? Like, okay, so he's a try-hard guy with, above average athleticism, no question. Like he tested very, very well. I think he fits their mold, culture-wise. And to be frank, we probably said something very similar about Logan Mankins. Mankins got a lot of like, third round grades when he came out and things, and he ended up being, but this kid is not Logan Mankins. He does not have Logan Mankins' strength, right? He does not have that same sort of play demeanor. I don't think so. Whatever. That's just me. I could be wrong. And if I am, great. But Thornton, they have not drafted a player like him since like Bethel Johnson, right? Where it was just speed, not very many other, elite qualities to his game.
I'll tell you this about the Patriots though. Bill has caught a ton of flack for how he is drafted. And this is definitely one where clearly, I mean, not that we would ever think Bill cares anyway, but there's going to be a microscope on this one. And if this is a lot of failure from a bunch of guys that people are saying are reaches, that is going to play really horribly. And remember, this is an offseason where Robert Kraft is kind of like, hey, haven't had success in the playoff. Like he's kind of putting some pressure on Bill a little bit. I don't think anything's happening there, obviously, but it's not going to help. Okay. And I would not be surprised if, let's say this doesn't go well. If it goes well, great. Then he's a genius again, and we're all just da 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 da. But if it goes poorly, I wonder if at some point there's not some people who are like, maybe it's time to take the draft out of Bill's hands.